Next up, we have a presentation from Magnum Mining and Exploration with the ticker code MGU. To tell us more about their green pig iron project in the United States, I will hand you over to Dano Chan.
Thank you, Jane, for inviting us, and greetings from Reno, Nevada. Magnum and our fully owned subsidiary, Nevada Iron, is in the process of building the first green pig iron operation in the US using our own in-house iron ore and 100% biochar. This presentation is available on our website, so feel free and download it. So I'm gonna skip the disclaimer. I think a lot of investors do not understand what is pig iron, so just a very quick educational tour. We know iron ore very well, billions of tons of mined in Australia alone. So iron ore is like a flour and pig iron is the bread. And there's a little bit more work, energy is needed to make it into a cake, which is a steel product being sold for thousands of dollars. Global demand for pig iron has been on the rise. It's going to go from $5 billion a year in 2019 to forecast to go to $120 billion by 2027, and pure increase of 20 times. And the United States by far the largest importer of pig iron. So as of this moment, Russia and Ukraine produces 65% of the traded volume in the world, and the US typically picked up about a third of the global traded volume. Everybody wants pig iron because electric arc furnace is the way of making green steel. Now, there's a pricing difference between flour and bread. Iron ore right now is about $150 a ton, while pig iron is right now just around $1,000 a ton. The demand is robust, and the pricing gap is being well above $800 to this date. We are working on to a biochar operation, which meaning that we'll reduce our carbon footprint, making our pig iron right next to our mining operation, hence reducing the carbon footprint and using biochar to further make ourselves carbon neutral to go forward. Hence, we'll become the first such an operation in the United States, if not North American continent. End of last year, Magnum has made the first green char pig iron for the North American continent. So our iron ore is mixed with biochar. The product is roasted in a rotary furnace at 1200 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes, together with biochar, as biochar is a renewable energy source. We produce a 75% DRI after taking out the impurity as a slag. That's the first piece of 100% biochar pig iron for the market. All right, Magnum is listed on ASX. I'm the managing director of the company, and I used to run the Glencore pig iron operation in China for 3 years. And Don Carroll is our chairman. He's from BHP Billiton and Rio Tinto background for international business development. And Mr. Guy Lossier is our managing operations manager in the US. Now, this project is unique in a way that we're situated in Nevada, and Nevada is a very industrial friendly state, which because we're uniquely the first steel operation in Nevada state, so we're receiving a lot of support. And also we're sitting right next to all the logistics and power infrastructures. Hence, this project has got all the matrix ticked for its development. We will be producing our pig iron using no coal, but only biochar. Biochar pig iron is in demand currently, including us. There is only 2 such an operation under construction, including the one from Valle, Brazil. Our operation will be an integrated operation, starting from mining to iron ore concentrate production, we'll be using our own in-house iron ore with biochar to produce a green pig iron. The process is a mature product process. It's been running in China, in India, and around the rest of the world for decades. So there's no moving parts except that we'll make it green by using a biomass. Our operation is unique because will become the only pig iron producer on the west coast of the United States. And there's actually no competition or no similar producers west of the Mississippi River. At the same time, Magnum operation is surrounded by 7 million tons of existing electric arc furnace buyers, users on the West Coast, and this is growing. On average, they need around 1.5 million tons of pig iron. Currently, there's no long-term and stable supplier. We have reported a 230 million tons of metasomatic magnetite ore deposit. Our ore is very soft, very easily to grind. At around 120 mash, we'll be producing a 63% dry concentrate. Now, that 230 million tons only come from the western part of our deposit. The entire eastern part, which is the left side of the deposit, was never drilled and never surveyed. There's an estimate that we will have significant resources going forward. We have decided to go with a 63% dry magnetic concentrate, and it's been tested. And this the process we choose, the rotary furnaces, will be able to handle a lower grade iron ore concentrate without any problems. And the pig iron we produce has been sent to major US and Australia steelmakers. The result has been nothing but excellent. Some of the comments from the buyers was, this is some of the purest pig iron they have imported. Now, we're sitting in Nevada, very close to export ports in California. Union Pacific Railway is only about 25 miles north of our operation. We have loadouts, railway spurts designed for Colorado loadout and Huxley loadout. And parallel to the railway is a highway, natural gas pipeline, and the power grid. For the last year, we have completed our iron ore specification. We have made the first 100% biochar pig iron, and the sample has been distributed to potential buyers, both in the US and Australia. We have starting the design and started design of our unit train operation. And also we appointed the consultants to start the engineering scoping study. So this is the current working program. We're in the midst of engineering scoping study. The initial designs and also the financial models will be ready by July this year. And right afterwards, we'll start our bankable feasibility study. We already in the discussion with the Nevada permitting on the project. We received a lot of support, and as they said, this project should have become a pig iron operation long time ago. So we're looking to start the operation by middle of 2025. It's all about greenness. So we're going to be replacing coal with abundant low-cost local biomass, and hence make it into a biochar. Where we're sitting, we're in the middle of a lot of biomass supply. I guess a lot of people understand the fire in California, and also there's a lot of construction and the logistic waste wood currently going to landfills. And we're located only 40 miles east of the Reno landfill, which is the largest on the West Coast, to be able to take delivery of this wood. At the same time, there's an invasive species on our backyard. It's called juniper trees that drinks a lot of water, 40 gallons of water per day, and killing all its native species. And the local government, Bureau of Land Management, would love us to go out there and manage the growth, spread of this species. At the same time, we also have a local biochar partner called Biochar Now. They're currently operating in Denver. They're the only US EPA certified and ISO certified carbon credit producer in the US. We'll be working together to produce biochar right next to our operation. We're looking at a huge amount of carbon credit potential, both coming up from Europe and in the United States. California alone is requesting by 2025, 20% of all raw materials entering to California needs to come from a carbon neutral source. So to summarize it up, we have low cost in-house iron ore. The pig iron demand in the world is blooming right now, and price is forecast to maintain at above $600 to $700 a ton going forward. Logistics and power is available within a 25-mile radius. Green initiatives, we're one of the very few green pig iron producers in the world once we start operating, and the demand for the green products is going up really, really strong. So to make our cases a little bit clearer, Vale Brazil has announced November last year that they're going to be producing 500,000 tons of green pig iron, similar size we're going to go for, using corn biomass and in production by 2025, 2026. So that's highlight of our project.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that great presentation. We've had a few questions come through, so I'll jump into it. So can you please provide an indication on the production costs of other pig iron producers?
That's a very good question. I think around the world, we have all agreed, even with our potential buyers, that pig iron costs around the world shouldn't be more than $350 a ton, including depreciation.
Wonderful. And just with the current geopolitical situation, more countries are seeking to secure domestic supply of raw materials. So how will MGU benefit from this?
I think the interest, industrial interest for our product has been nothing but just phenomenal. Pig iron is a product that's really needed by the steel industry. So if you look at the pricing chart, which I showed it earlier, the price has gone up to $1,000. If you look at the other metals in like lithium or nickel, they have gone up really high and they dropped really fast. Pig iron price has been holding its place at $1,000 in the United States, and it's been holding there until today. So that just shows you that the demand is up the roof.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for that great presentation, and we look forward to further updates.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.